What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Barcelona have just defeated Benfica 5-4 away from home in match week 7 of the UCL. I haven't fully processed what I just watched. I'm smiling right now, but I promise you I am not happy with this performance from Barcelona. I'm just happy they got the win, and I'm just happy that game is over. That was one of the most entertaining games any of us will ever see, but honestly, I hated every single second of it. If you're a neutral fan, I'm sure you loved it, but if you're a Barca fan like myself, which I'm sure most of you guys watching this video are, I think you're on the same boat as me. I didn't enjoy a single second of this game. That was insane, bro. That, like I said, that's one of the craziest games any of us are ever going to see. And I haven't fully processed what I just watched. I don't think I ever will. I don't think I'll ever fully process this match and how Barca came away with the win after being down 3-1 and 4-2 in various points of this game. 3-1 down going into halftime. Then they score. Barca score obviously from that insanely fluky goal that Rafinha scored. And then Benfica come back and score right after thanks to that own goal from Ronald Araujo. It was just insane, man. It was insane. Pavlidis scored a fucking hat-trick. Szczesny was making mistake after mistake. There was 3 penalties. I mentioned the Rafinha goal. I mean, it was crazy. Eric Garcia, out of all people, scores the tying goal. And Rafinha, after having a stinker most of the game, does that in the final minute. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. But honestly, bro, Barca teams from the past don't win this game. The Barca teams from 4 years ago, or 2 years ago, or a year ago, or 3 years ago, they don't win this game. Especially in that competition, because I've seen Barcelona in my lifetime crumble so many times in that competition. But this time around, it was different. I'm not going to sit here and act like Barcelona played a great game. Not even close. We played a terrible game. There was a reason why we were down 3-1 and 4-2, obviously twice. There was a reason why we were down most of the game, I should say. But again, Real Madrid, I've seen them play bad and come back and win the game because, again, it's in their DNA. And I feel like Barca, for the most part, in this competition, have never really had that DNA. But today they showed some of that, maybe, dare I say, UCL winning DNA. Maybe this team is different. In the league, we're sticking it up, but in the UCL, I mean, we're sitting second. We're going to finish, obviously, in the top 3 in the UCL now. Basically guaranteed. This game was massive, bro. Barca needed to win this game, and they came out and won it. Again, after being terrible, the midfield looked tired the whole game. It was sad to watch, that midfield. I think Pedri was great, but I mean, we just couldn't pass the ball. Every pass seemed like it was getting intercepted and leading to a Benfica counterattack. And every time they were on the counter, they were slicing us up. Every single time. The defense looked terrible. I mean, Araujo had a disaster class. Cubarsí, I think, was good. Balde, in my opinion, wasn't great. Koundé wasn't great either. But we somehow won the game. Again, thanks to 2 penalties and a goofy goal from Rafinha. But those last 2 goals, man, that pass from Pedri was just amazing. He was the best player on the pitch for me today. He was the best Barca player by far. And that other goal by Rafinha, again, there's controversy. Was it a penalty? You know, they were obviously, Benfica players were pissed after the game, thinking they should have had a penalty. And that whole, like, kerfuffle, is that the word? Or like, when all those bodies were in the box, they thought some of their players got fouled a couple times, but obviously the ref checked it in VAR and nothing happened. So Barca get the counterattack, and Rafinha, who, like I said, had been stinking it up the whole match, one of his worst performances this year, even though he scored 2 goals. Even though the first one wasn't really, I mean, what type of goal is that? He comes back, he comes out and does that. What a finish, by the way. But yeah, man, the game started off just terribly. The worst way it can start. We can see literally 2 minutes in, Pavlidis obviously scores that goal. Koundé doesn't close out his defender on the wing fast enough. He sends in the cross, and then Pavlidis gets behind Cubarsí and tucks it away. A beautiful finish, and today he was great in my opinion, obviously. Scored 3 goals. Then after that, I mean, after that they score, Barca score, obviously thanks to that penalty that Balde wins, and Lewandowski tucks it away beautifully. But then a couple minutes after that, Benfica score once again because Szczesny makes one of the most idiotic mistakes I've ever seen in my life, coming out for that ball. And Szczesny today, man, I mean, 2 of the goals are definitely on him, but he made a huge save towards the end on Di Maria, so I can't blame him. I mean, he made a massive save against Di Maria towards the end of that game that saved us, bro, because Di Maria was one-on-one, and Di Maria from that position is deadly. That's the same position we scored at in the World Cup, if you remember. That chance that Di Maria had towards the end, that was the same position he was at in the World Cup final when he scored that goal against France, and Szczesny made a massive save. But yeah, man, you cannot come out of your goal like that. That is pathetic. That is idiotic. And Balde gets hurt too. I mean, there was obviously a lack of communication with Balde. And, you know, he makes that mistake. And then a couple minutes after that, he gives away a penalty. So we're sitting here. Benfica has a player score a hat-trick against Barca at home in the first half. Barca are down 3-1. Then the second half comes around, obviously, after Szczesny gives away that pen, Paredes scores. Obviously, it's 3-1. And then Barca come out in the second half. And I'm going to mention it once again because I'm going through the goals now. This match review is kind of all over the place. Usually I talk about the goals first. But I just have to, talk for a little bit before that. Rafinha scores a goal, which is one of the craziest goals I've ever seen in my life. The keeper clears the ball. It just bounces off his head. Like, probably the longest header ever scored, honestly. I've never seen a header be scored from that far away. And it just goes into the back of the net. And when he scored that goal, when it was 3-2, I was like, okay, Barca are actually going to tie this game because I think we started off the second half really, really well. We came out, putting the pressure on. But then Araujo scores an own goal. Again, they were carving us apart in transition, and Araujo, there was a miscommunication with Szczesny. That goal is not on Szczesny, in my opinion. Araujo sticks his foot out, and it goes into the back of the net. And at that point, bro, it was 4-2 in that stadium. That, by the way, quick side note, that is my least favorite stadium in the history of football. That is a stadium where Hansi Flick obviously won his first and only UCL when they beat PSG in that game, obviously in this exact same stadium. But this is a stadium where, first of all, Real Madrid won La Décima, so I hate it because of that, because it's just a terrible memory of watching Ramos score that goal. And then also, even worse than that, Barca lost 8-2 in that exact same stadium against Hansi Flick against Bayern Munich. That's the stadium where Barca lost 8-2. That is that exact same stadium. So this stadium brings me nothing but bad memories. But yeah, bro, anyway, what I was saying, when it was 4-2, I was like, this shit is over. And then in the last 10 minutes, Barca scored 2 goals. The third goal is the fourth goal is Eric Garcia with just, an insane goal. What a beautiful pass from Pedri to cut inside and just lift that ball over, a beautiful rainbow ball. And Eric Garcia, who's about to be sold probably to Italy, just a great header, man. A great header. When Eric Garcia came on, I didn't know what the fuck he was doing on the pitch. But man, that is amazing. What a sub from Flick to bring him on, because that goal, it just sparked something in Barca. And then obviously, like I said, Rafinha comes through with the last goal, which again, just a great finish from him. These are the games that just leave you lost for words. I'm at a loss for words right now, bro. I honestly cannot even fathom what I just watched. But like I said, I'm proud of the team, man, because I don't think we played well at all. There was obviously controversy in this game. The Szczesny penalty, was it a penalty? I really don't know. Lamine Yamal, it was marginal contact, but it was contact when they gave him a penalty. So again, I think both teams got calls that were obviously in their favor. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the last thing, but I'm looking at it right now. I don't think that's a penalty on Benfica at any point in the box in that final sequence. And then obviously Barca hooped the ball up the pitch and Rafinha's right there. What a finish from him to cut inside on his left foot and to tuck that away beautifully. But yeah, man, most Barca players that we've been seeing throughout the season play so well weren't at their best today. They weren't at their best. I already talked about the midfield. The only guy that really impressed me was Pedri. I think Casal lost the ball a few too many times and his passes were just sloppy and all over the place. Again, Araujo to me played like shit. I think Koundé wasn't great. That's why he got subbed off. Szczesny, obviously, like I said, made multiple mistakes and costly mistakes. The front line, Lamine Yamal had one of his worst games I've ever seen him play in this season with Barca. Obviously, he's only played with Barca, but I'm saying, overall, Lamine Yamal was just not great today, was not sharp whatsoever, was just seemingly lost out there on the wing, was barely getting the ball. And every time he was getting the ball, he was trying to make things happen, but it really wasn't working out for him. Rafinha, like I said, besides those 2 goals that he scored, one of them obviously was a fluke goal and the second one was beautiful, but besides that, he wasn't great. And Robert Lewandowski, man, it's time to have the conversation. Is this dude washed once again? Because it seems like the second half of the season, it's not great. So many times he killed Barca's attacks by taking disgusting touches, just back heeling for no reason, bro. Just back heels for what? So he did it twice in the first half, just back heels. Random back heels that just kill the attack. It's like he had a brick for a cleat. His touch was so poor, man, and it stalled so many Barca attacks. It made me so frustrated to watch because this team can thrive with a more mobile and more fluid number 9. And I feel like a lot of times with Robert Lewandowski, yes, I'm not sitting here and saying that he's been shit because he's been amazing. He's a top goal scorer of the UCL as it stands right now, and he scored 2 goals today. Now, granted, they were both pens, but he took those pens very well, to be fair. Those were very well taken pens. And Lewandowski at this age can still convert a pen because Lewandowski at 75 years old will be able to convert a pen because he's simply one of the greatest strikers of all time. But when you're talking about having a more fluid attack and being able to provide more for that team up front as a number 9, I don't think Lewandowski gives us that best chance. And Olmo would have been great to play today, but Dani Olmo's always fucking hurt. That's the problem with Dani Olmo. He's a great player who's always on the bench because he's hurt. And who else do you bring in? Are you going to bring in Ferran? He made a cameo today, and to be fair, I don't think he was bad, but again, it's it's frustrating to watch because I feel like so many attacks stall because of Lewandowski. And again, I'm not sitting here and saying that he's the problem or he's shit. But what I am saying is we need to find somebody to replace him next season because he's only going to get worse from now. He's just not going to continue to get better. That's just not what happens with age. Usually as you age, you get worse. So again, I don't know. I don't want to pile on Lewandowski today because I think Barca had many issues. But to me, the attack just seems so out of sync. But again, I'm proud of the team, bro, because these games, we would lose them in the past. And it's weird. Usually we collapse in the UCL but thrive in the league. But this season it's the opposite. I didn't make a match review for the game against Getafe because I was working that day. But I watched the game. I snuck away. Obviously, I had my phone on the side. Every time my boss came around, I just, fucking hid it in my pocket and pretend like I was working. But every time he would leave, I would pull it out. So I watched most of that game. Now, I obviously came back home and watched it in its entirety later on that day. But I was watching it at parts and, we looked like shit against Getafe. It was sad to watch. And I thought today was going to be the same thing for the most part, but it wasn't. So again, I'm super happy that we won this game. It's 3 points that are gonna go a long way for us because obviously now the last match against Atalanta, it's basically useless for Barca because they're already qualified in the top 8 and more specifically in the top 3. Now I don't know how that whole thing. I'm not really too familiar with this format just yet. I don't know if it's beneficial to qualify, higher up in the top 8 or if it's all the same shit. It all goes to the same lottery. But anyway, it looks pretty, bro. It looks pretty to see Barca second on the table with that goal difference and that many points. We lost the first match against Monaco, and since then it's been every single game has been a win, which is massive. So I'm super happy, bro. I'm super happy. Again, the performance wasn't great, but I'd rather play like this and win than, play like we did against Getafe and draw, if that makes sense. I mean, this game, again, it wasn't pretty, but 9 goals. I'm not complaining. I was sitting here entertained. Again, I was frustrated and anxious the whole game. But I'm just happy it's over, bro. I'm just happy that it's over. And yeah, that was one of the most insane games I've ever seen in my life. Just end-to-end stuff. When Rafinha scored that goal, I truly could not believe it. I thought they were going to go and rule it off because I was like, oh, this guy's going to give a pen or something, or he's going to rule it off because of a foul against Benfica in the box. He saw the foul. He saw the actions that took place in the box. Obviously, he didn't feel like it warranted a penalty. So, again, both teams, Barca got 2 pens, Benfica got a pen. They got a fucking fluky goal from Szczesny just coming out of his goal like that. But yeah, man, 9 goals is crazy. 9 goals is fucking insane in a game like this. Barca score 5 but concede 4. But they got the win. And they got the win. These are the games that people were talking about. This is everybody when Hansi Flick first took over. I mean, for the most part, when Barca scored 5, they were holding opposition to 2 goals like they did against Madrid, or 1 goal like they did against Sevilla, or no goals like they did against Valladolid or Girona. But today, it was like the ultimate Hansi Flick experience. You concede 4, but you score 5. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that Hansi Flick put forth an offensive masterclass because only 2 of those goals were actually good goals. The other 3 were just 2 penalties and a fluke goal from Rafinha. I'm not really giving that credit to Hansi Flick. But look, man, sometimes in a competition like this, you need luck. We know that for a fact. And today, Barca got the luck and they got the win, and I honestly could not be happier. I know a lot of people are going to come here and say that it was a robbery, that Barca robbed the team. If you watch that game and you believe that was a robbery, I don't know what to tell you. I think both teams got calls that went their way. Was the refereeing perfect? No, but the refereeing is never perfect in any game that's ever been played. There's never been a perfectly refereed game in the history of football, and today was no different. So I'm happy. I'm just happy that Barca got the win. I'm happy that the 3 points are in the bag and secure, and I'm happy that we can move forward and hopefully this wakes up the team. I keep saying that, but the league just seems to be slipping away. But at least we have this. At least we have the UCL. Give me the UCL over the league any day. I don't go. If we finish 7th in the league, but we win the UCL, I'll be a happy man. I have not seen my team win the UCL in 10 years. I watched this win league titles countless times in my lifetime. So many times, it's insane. I can't even count them on one hand. That's how many league titles I've watched Barca win. But this, oh my God. I understand it's just the group stages. Okay, this is not the round of 16 or the quarterfinals or the semifinals or even the fucking final, obviously. But man, I'm just happy. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What did you think of this game? Who were your stand-up performers? Do you think it was a robbery? Do you think it wasn't a robbery? I really don't know. All I know is that I think most Barca fans were feeling very, very down on ourselves about halfway through that game, and then our emotions changed like that. When Araujo scored that own goal, I thought the game was over. When it was 4-2, I thought the game was over. It's done. It's dusted. Benfica are going to win this game. And then for Barca to come back like that, all I can do is smile and be happy, man. That's all I can do is smile and be happy. And yeah, man, I haven't fully processed this game yet. I'm watching the highlights on my TV right now. I don't think I'll ever process it. But, we move forward. And Barca get the 3 points. Benfica fans, you played a great game, man. You should be proud of your team because you guys came out and fought. But, you know, sometimes it's just not your day. I thought today was going to be that for Barca, but it was for you guys, so I apologize for that. But yeah, man, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.